Somebody should have told me it would be like this, be like this. Somebody should have told me it would be like this, be like this. My mama would have told me it'd be like this, be like this. What a bunch of derps. Oh man. Man, oh man. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Yo, I can't wait to drop this, man. I can't wait to talk about this, man. Good morning, good morning. Let's get a couple of more people in the chat. Let's get some more people in the chat. Before I sign this thing off, let's get some more people up in the chat, man. Good morning, good morning. Let's talk about it, family. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Give me 1 minute, which will be 1 mile. Let me get my other headset in. First and foremost, I want to tell everybody good morning. Welcome to the platform as always. And I told y'all this was going to happen. I told y'all this was going to happen. And as always, you see the so-called people in the community that was pushing this guy named Donald Trump. Everybody that was pushing him when speaking against Kamala Harris. Now all of a sudden they've gone fucking quiet. They've gone silent. Now you guys are beginning to see his agenda and what he's going to be doing and what he's going to be trying to push. Even Republicans are afraid now. Even people that are pro-Republican are afraid. Because if you think what you guys just heard is devastating, insulting, wait till you hear the rest and wait till you see the rest of what he's trying to accomplish and why he's trying to accomplish it. I mean, we got to be honest here. That man ain't got long to live. Donald Trump can do as much damage as he wants to. What is he, 79 years old? In 4 years, he'll be 83. I think he's 80. He don't have long, man. So he's placed. Look, first of all, a lot of these dudes that tell y'all that they're reading in the community, they don't. I keep stressing this to everybody. They don't read. They speak first. They speak first because they always want to debate, some damn debate. And then they try to go gather all the information up and throw everything at the person they're debating. And it makes it seem like they're smart. It makes it seem like it's smart. So what are we talking about today? Well, this morning, we're talking about the fact that Donald Trump has now said he wants to give white Americans reparations. He wants to give it to them because of what they're being taught or what they were forced to teach. He wants to give it to them because he feels like it's unfair that they have to succumb to such forms of education and reform. We shouldn't be pushing critical race theory in schools. But for years, we pushed a Eurocentric idea of race theory with everything white. All forms of high civilization in Africa, everything white. And I hold you niggas, some of you niggas who was running around talking about Egyptians weren't black, I hold you niggas responsible too for this shit. I hold y'all responsible too. See, he wants to get rid of critical race theory and things that go against certain educational reforms that he wants to begin to push. Go read Project 2025 and tell me when you read that, that document, you don't see forms of fascism, authoritarianism, communism, socialism. You guys don't see those forms of government in there when you're supposedly living in a democracy. Trump don't care. And I heard platforms like Q Butter, platforms, people like Michi X. I heard everybody pushing this motherfucker. So-called pro-black people pushing this nigga. I heard it. I listened to it, and I didn't say shit. And now, guess what? They've all gone fucking silent. They've all gone silent. They've gone fucking silent. See, you have to go silent now because if you try to talk about what he said, you're going to end up spinning his narrative. Oh, he's a great Donald Trump is the greatest ringmaster to ever live. Now you guys have to push. You guys have to spin his narrative now. You have to spin what he is pushing now. You guys were so anti-Kamala, you forgot what you were becoming pro to. You know, I know what you're going to say. Oh, I didn't really care about Trump. I was just anti-Kamala. No, you should have been anti-Trump. All you motherfuckers. The Republican Party does not represent what and who you are. Especially if you get up in the morning, like me, and go to work. Now you should feel embarrassed. Now you owe the community an explanation. Did you know if he literally goes and grabs immigrants, all the foreigners or aliens, illegal aliens, whatever inflammatory word you want to use, I'll say non-citizens of this country, and send them back, you'll literally collapse the economy. You can literally do it overnight. Well, what is he going to do to stimulate the economy at that point? I wonder, is he going to create a workforce? I wonder, is he going to create a workforce? And what people he'll begin to use to create this workforce? He's already doing something unconstitutional by trying to get rid of such topics in schools or curriculums in schools as critical race theory. If you don't believe me in his educational reform policies, go read Project 2025. But no, niggas want clicks and views. I really don't care about clicks and views anymore. People jumped on the anti-Kamala bandwagon. Kofi, where your silly ass at? I fell asleep on you motherfuckers the other day on this stream. I thought y'all were so stupid, I fell asleep on you. I didn't even pay you guys any attention anymore. So I'm not gonna get on here and start crying over white folks. Oh my God, they all hate us and duh. Now what are you guys gonna do? See, I'm holding you all responsible. How can you all get in there and spin that shit? He said he wants to give out reparations to white people. That's a slap in your face. That's a slap in America's face. This is his form of making America great again by giving the majority reparations. You see how they play semantics with that? He's got to now remind his constituents that they're the best race in the world. And we're going to pay you all for that. We don't want your children learning about critical race theory and how it affects people of color. We want white supremacy to reign forever. We want to continue to teach that blacks in America, their history starts with slavery. We want to continue to push and spin the narrative that we had the first high civilizations in the world. Critical race theory teaches that no. Critical race teacher, I said critical race teacher. Critical race theory begins to examine race relations and how it affects people in the United States of America. That's what it's really all about. It examines race. I've never heard such ultra conservative bullshit in my life. And when I was at work yesterday and I saw Don Lemon talking about that shit, of all people, Don Lemon, all of a sudden, that coon is becoming militant. He's like, oh shit, hell no. Go look at his podcast. Jesse Lee Peterson is now, oh hell no. All these coons are standing up against that shit. Because even they have a level of decorum that allows them to critically think and say, what the fuck is he doing? But when it comes to the niggas and women and this community, y'all was looking for a hot take. Y'all motherfuckers was looking for a hot take. One person in this community is supposed to be an educator. And it was about educating black children. I guess you can't teach that now, can you? So now he's imposing his conservative ideology on your school. Oh, and he's going to be doing that day one when he gets into office. And he's going to do it. I heard all you niggas talk. I heard all you niggas talking. The Michi X's, all of y'all. And when Yara, dumbass. Everybody, will you get what you voted for? I want to hear what you guys got to say. I want to see how you are now going to be becoming a Trump lobbyist by trying to spin that shit. I listened to the platforms. Nobody was talking about it. That was pushing that motherfucker. All that anti-Kamala shit. None of them platforms was talking about it. But they'll go behind your backs and talk about that shit. See, because a lot of motherfuckers is just on here hustling and scheming and scamming. See, that's why I wanted nothing else to do with the community. Once I saw that Israel doctrine shit and all that gay shit, all that pedophilic shit, that he was pushing, I was like, yo, I'm out. All that nonsense going over there, they were pushing the anti-Kamala narrative. But them motherfuckers over there, they'll listen to anything because they have nothing to teach or say. It's a lot of stupidity going on and around in the community. And everybody likes to look at that shit. How many times can y'all look at a 70-year-old man chase some 50-year-old grandma who lived with her mama, so you got a grandmama and a great-grandmama living in the same household? I mean, if that ain't ridiculousness, I don't know what is. That's a form of irresponsibility. One of the biggest forms of it I've ever seen. Meanwhile, the same person that you were against, you didn't realize, you mean to tell me you didn't realize that you would also be in pro of the person that you don't want in office? No, that shit ain't gonna fly. You were helping him. You were helping him. When you're telling people that look like us, fuck Kamala. Let me guess, you got a problem with mixed people, but you ain't got a problem with some white guy getting in office with his agenda. Let me see how that shit works. Let me see how that shit works. You had niggas on there trying to talk about policy reform and everything else. I said, these niggas sound ridiculous. They don't even know what the fuck they talking about. I know they don't know what the fuck they talking about because they don't even understand something as simple, Simon, as a fucking Bible. Enough of that shit. Now y'all saw it. Now y'all gonna get up there all day and try and spin the narrative. Because that's all you got left. Good morning, everybody. That's all you got left. All of y'all. You know who you were. I can name names all day. I just hold those responsible that I know out loud. You can't say you didn't say it. You're on record. I got the clips. I'm clipped up. I'm clipped up. Whether you were anti or pro-Trump, if you were anti-Kamala, you pro-Trump. If you pro-Trump, you pro-Trump policy. It's simple. Most of these niggas think because they hit that little enter button, that link, you become smart overnight. That's not true. That's not true. It's just not true. Just because you got a StreamYard doesn't give you the right to say that you're smart now. You just have an opinion. Oh, guess what? He's gonna stop critical race theory, period. So then he's gonna begin to censor you and limit your freedom of speech. You know, that's your constitutional right. See, y'all just don't know how big that is. Because educational reform is unconstitutional. It goes against freedom of speech. And because Americans are so stupid, and you dumbass niggas on YouTube is so fucking stupid, people that are sitting in his cabinet already realize, oh, you social media, set up illicit talking points, and voila. We all, growing up, we believed in a talking donkey and men floating into heaven and people dying for your sins, right? It goes hand in hand. It's the same reason why the Republican Party, the conservative Christians only want to push conservative Christianity. They're going to only be offering that. They just say, oh, the hell with the separation of government and religion. Forget all that. Nah, we going to push our views here. I'm trying to tell y'all, this workforce, these black jobs, and all this other stupid shit, buzzwords that were being mentioned. You'll see. You'll see. Don't say I didn't warn you. I'm going to show you, if you want to hear how stupid we are, or niggas is, all you got to do is go listen to my last show. I literally played Donald Trump quoting and saying that he knew nothing about the American Heritage Foundation. Lying about it. And those niggas heard something completely different. I literally showed him lying. He's got pictures with him. 144 of the 264 people are on his cabinet. Of the 264 members of the American Heritage Foundation, 144 of them are in his administration. And niggas, when they caught him, heard him lying, they had something completely different to say. Brother Marco says, I don't know. I don't know if he's addressing me. He says, absolutely right. I got a question. Your critical thinking skills, if you believe in some of that, dot, 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 you will make uninformed decisions about everything. I don't know what you mean by that, but I guess we got Truth Speaks with Cali. Come on in the building, Cali. Come on in the building. Come on in the building. Come on in, brother. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in, Cali. Anybody can come in. Anybody can come in. That link is in there now. Because see, he said that. He said it. The conservative Republican Party is antithetical to anybody who has to get up and go to work in the morning. America allowed this man to produce a narrative that immigrants are our biggest threats. Meanwhile, the foundation of what this country was built on, immigrants, foreigners, illegal aliens, is being reduced to nominal talking points. You know, that's what this country was built on. See, when the first European colonizer set foot over here, that's what he was. He was a colonizer. He was an immigrant. So now America becomes a hypocrite by sitting up there saying we want them all out of here. Instead of pushing immigration reform, see, that's what you're supposed to be pushing, immigration reform. And how you do that is anyone who lives in this country, you have to get your ID. You have to be legally over here. And we want to help you live in this country legally, not illegally. Not saying inflammatory things like we kicking y'all out of here when we find you. We kicking y'all all out of here. We getting rid of all of y'all. There's a difference between immigration reform and getting rid of illegal aliens. It's two different things. And from what I'm understanding from some people that I know, they said it's not even that hard to get your what's it called papers to live over here legally. It's not even hard. They said it's simple. You go apply, you go to your classes, and voila. Oh, you at work listening? Okay. Okay. No doubt. Good show you had yesterday. I thought it was funny when you put yourself on the screen and you were saying my children, my children. I thought that shit was funny, Gabby. I ain't gonna lie. That shit was hilarious. Because you was dead on about that. If the church gets the woman, it ends up getting the man. Because that church knows how to separate that woman from the man. Trust me, I know everything about it. I know everything about it. Cujo, big Cujo, what up, bro? You said, do Todd told you that true? He says, big ups, Virginia, big ups, Virginia. So now we want to get down to business. We want to get down to business. He has literally took shit, smeared in his hand, and said, kapow, slap, slap Black America with it. I'm going to pay them reparations. Because my people are hurting. And frail white tears and the frail white European mind needs to be consoled. So I'm going to give them some money. And you know what they're going to do? White America going to do? They're going to take that shit and say, we got reparations before y'all. And we only been dealing with critical race theory for what, the last 15 years publicly? Got you again, niggas. He already coming in there talking about making America great again. See, he's got to find a way to compensate white America, middle America, for voting for him. And that's one of the ways he's going to do it. Yeah, that's what he's going to do. He has to do that because he knows that if he doesn't do something for them, guess what's going to end up happening? Yeah, they're going to begin to go against him. And he guess who's going to be the victim every single time in his administration? Yeah, the minority in this country. See, when we're living in our neighborhoods, this thing of supremacy begins to develop in our head that we're the center of the world, right? It begins to develop in our minds that we're the center of the world. There's a lot of us here in America. No, it's not. It's really not. We're not that big of a populace here in America. And once he gets rid of all the illegal immigrants, remember, he ran on a platform. He ran on a platform of xenophobia, and he used a lot of xenophobic talking points. Y'all remember the eating dogs and animals thing, the bullshit he would say? Those things are very inflammatory. Those things put ideologies in people's heads that people that are minorities don't have any strong values of themselves. And it animalizes them. It creates this animalistic narrative of minority groups in America. So after he gets rid of all of them, who's next? Well, since he ran on that platform, he's got to continue that platform. Who you think he's gonna be looking at? I mean, was you niggas thinking with some of the shit you was saying? Were you listening to some of the shit he was saying? Do you not understand how propaganda and media works in the United States of America? Remember when the police were killing black men as they're still doing today? Do you remember when every week on the news there was an innocent black man being gunned down in the middle of the street? Do you remember that? See, those were forms of propaganda and preparing the frail white European mind for what's to come. Because if you keep showing it, if you keep showing black people being gunned down in the middle of the street, the shock value begins to go down. And then when they begin to do it in on a mass scale, guess what ends up happening? They don't care because now through propaganda you become apathetic to what's going on to a minority group around you. Go ask the Jews. See, no one cared when it was one or two of them or three of them it was happening to the Nazi Party. Oh, these are just random acts of violence. Then when the Nazi Party gained power, it happened on a mass level. The conscious community is not conscious anymore. It's a bunch of fucking coons. You think they care about the goddamn Constitution in the United States? You think Europeans really care about that shit? They don't. The only people who argue that shit is us. And the Constitution in the first place was not even meant for us. It was written against us. We were the ones who came in here and fought for true democracy in this country. Once we learned how to read. Because, they kept that from us. Don't teach them how to read. Now go understand Juneteenth. So this shit gotta stop. At one point, it just gotta stop. The ignorance, it gotta stop. He said it. It's just like I say with this one nigga that I know hustling in the community. It's just like I said it. They said, why he always bragging about that? I'm like, y'all niggas paying for it. You donate to it. Shit. Donate to it. You pay for it. Umar Johnson, the school shit. He was never pro-Trump. Went up against both of them. He argued both of them. He understood that balance. Niggas was just on YouTube talking about Kamala because it was a popular thing to do. That's all it really was. Them niggas was all cap. They were all cap, fam. They were all cap. You gotta understand that you had Tazat Riyad, he was telling people not to vote. I'm like, oh shit. He said it's a sin to vote. I said, oh shit. What? Nigga, is you crazy? Where in the Bible do it say it's a sin to vote? So people were using their platforms, even some, to say don't vote. Shocking. Shocking to say the least. Shocking. Cool men. When black people in America see other minority groups being attacked because of their ethnicity, we can relate to that. We should be able to relate to that. We should not be bandwagoning against them. Immigrants and immigration reform is the least of black people's problems in this country. Black people in this country, we have grown lazy and fat now, based off the efforts of our ancestors and what they fought for. We even go so far as to attack Black Lives Matter. You know, a white guy at work, when he came up to me, and I'll say it again, when he came up to me talking about, man, I stayed up late because I thought they were going to try and cheat Trump. I said, is this the same guy that initiated a riot on Capitol Hill when he knew he was leaving office? Is this the same guy? What about Black Lives? Don't talk about Black Lives Matter, dude. That's a group that fights for civil rights in America. They ain't doing nothing wrong. They ain't doing nothing wrong. They are a response to what's happening. They are a response to injustice in America. Shut his ass down right there. Get this shit out of here. And I put that link in the chat for a reason today. I put that link in the chat because I know the same people that came on here last Friday night would not show up this morning. Because you know why? They hide in their fucking boots. I'm going to ask, do you agree with that? You were on here pushing Trump. You were on here pushing him. Do you agree with that? So you're already in the negative now. You're already in the negative. Surprise, surprise. Surprise, surprise. That's why y'all don't see me go live anymore and produce any content. I realized that what I was trying to do was to enlighten people, have fun with it with the morning coffee series. I realized it. But it was really just drawing a bigger divide in the community, and people would be all like, "Yo, hey, yo, Chris, when you go live again, we need that morning coffee show. We want that. We want that." And I just began to see more and more and more. Was this a form of entertainment, or people really learning? And once I saw it, or I began to understand that maybe it's just a form of entertainment, it was like, "Hey, I didn't want to do it. Yeah, I wanted to keep it entertaining, no doubt." Because I do see some platforms and I'll be all like, yo, the smartest the brother is, this guy is mad boring, right? I said that about Jabari's show. I said, is charismatic as he is, when he's debating, when I watch a show, I just be kind of like this, like, God, it could really use some more when watching it, right? Something to make it more fun and, and more palatable for people who aren't really in the know to know. You feel me? Right? I always believe in having a good time. And maybe I sound like a hypocrite when I'm saying that I wanted the show to be a little bit more fun, or the platform to be a little bit more fun when teaching and showing, okay, this is where this person is wrong at. This is why he is wrong. Creating terms for it, you know what I'm saying? But as it went on, people, there was a lot of jealousy. People begin to, how can I sit up there and say it? People begin to strike the channel. Oh, you using my video and things like that. Those things begin to happen. And all that shit begins to wear on you, because as you're trying to educate the audience and you're trying to use the person that was teaching something against what you were teaching, you begin to get a lot of people that say, oh, no, 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 I'm going to strike the video. You use that. We are all know and saw what happened. So then I begin to ask myself, am I really enjoying this anymore? Am I having a good time with this? Here, let's look at it like this. The people that were anti-Kamala or pro-Trump, either way it go, you're supporting both. Go look them in the face today and say, how do you reparations for middle America? They know you're talking about white America, or just say white America. How do you feel about that? Listen to what they have to say. Listen to them. I'm a little bit all over the place this morning, because I'm thinking about just ending the platform altogether, because not going live, it's like I finally found some peace. But I want to stay here. I want you guys to sit up there and ask them, not yourselves, excuse me, ask them, how do you feel about that? They're gonna be like, yeah. They're gonna be all giddy. Okay, cool. That's great. What about black people not receiving reparations at all for slavery? Watch the frown that comes across their face. I want you guys to pay attention to those types of things. Whether they be black or white. If they were black and they were pro-Trump supporters, ask them, how do you feel about that? I mean, Don Lemon was incensed about the whole thing. Don Lemon, Jesse Lee Peterson. All of a sudden, all the cooning they have been doing for years, all of a sudden it came all to a head. They were all saying that they were all incensed about it. See, because injustice is injustice. No matter if it be in the form of democracy, freedom of speech, you can use your freedom of speech or this democracy to create injustices. But you have to understand who this democracy was originally for. Make America great again. I promise you all, they're going to create a new workforce. They're going to create a new workforce. And tax the shit out of that new workforce. They're gonna do it in the form of, this is a new initiative. They're gonna use every fucking buzzword they can to make you think and make everybody think that it's not slavery. Because you are removing an entire economy out of the United States. Make America great again. This will not be a Teddy Roosevelt new plan idea. This will be a Donald Trump new plan idea. So now it is a very terrifying time for minorities in America, not just for illegal immigrants. or non-alien, or excuse me, non-citizens in this country that live over here. It is terrifying for everyone involved. And the president's number one goal in this country of the executive branch is to maintain the union. If you remove all the illegal immigrants out of Texas, out of California, out of Florida, you're going to cripple that economy. So you're going to have to replace that workforce. What are you going to replace that workforce with? Oh, he promised, remember, he promised new jobs. Black jobs. Y'all forgot about that part, didn't you? Oh, I'll just replace them with the niggas. Don't worry. We'll do it under a new initiative program. We'll call it something. We'll figure that out. You dumbass niggas. What was y'all thinking? What's going on? Florida Geechee in the building. ISUPK voted for Trump, fam. Get the fuck out of here. Mm. I'll say this. And I want to say this in closing. Well, I got a little bit more time. I can sit back and argue about pro-Trump, anti-Trump, pro-Kamala, anti-Kamala. But the one thing I will always respect is democracy. Democracy won. A couple of weeks ago when voting in America, they voted Trump into office. So democracy won. But now there has to be some form of culpability on people who were anti-Kamala. That automatically makes you pro-Trump. I don't care who or what you vote on. But you have to have, it has to be some form of culpability shown here when he is now pressing the matter of educational reform in the United States of America. There has to be some type of culpability. There has to be some type of, man, y'all, we was pushing that shit. And now he's really slapped us, our ancestors, our parents, everybody in the face with giving them reparations. You see how fast it is for him to say that about them? And you see how slow it is for them to react in the right way about you. Reparations simply means to repair. They're saying we have to repair their frail minds from what's been taught to them, but not repair black people. See, when black men were being highlighted on CNN, being killed every day by the police, what do you guys think that was? That's a form of buck breaking. You take the biggest and strongest slave and you beat him in front of all the other slaves. Because all the other slaves saw him as being big and strong. So when you're beating on him and beating him into submission, guess what ends up happening? The other slaves will begin to say, man, I don't want that to happen to me. It's a form of buck breaking. Remember, the big black buck, he was really innocent. He was probably obedient to the master. So he became obedient unto death. That little verse you see in the Bible. You see, I can show you how the Bible and slavery have existed side by side. That's what I wanted Chief to go into. I can show you everything they did to us and it being right there in the Bible. And I can show you why verses are like that in the Bible, because those verses are imprinted on the minds of the people that were dominating our people. And as long as they think that God okayed it, they would say it's okay for us to treat them like this, because as their children that are being raised in slavery, watching people, slaves exist, they begin to ask mom, dad, why are we treating them like this? And then they have to put them into religion. They have to keep them into religion, into this religious doctrine that pushes that it's okay. This is why these verses right here say it. And then some believe it, some did. It's the same thing with voting. Know the facts. Get educated. You see how stupid it sounds that America has never even apologized for slavery? See how stupid that sounds? You see how angry that makes you? How do you think people feel today that knew about Project 2025 and who argued with their own people, about why are you so anti Kamala? She was a Democrat. Democrats represent the working class. They're always pro labor union and pro labor force. They're always like that. They've always been that way. If you didn't like Kamala, you're still supposed to vote for the Democratic ticket. I don't care what you say. It ain't a debate. You cannot vote for Republicans. They are conservatives. I'm sorry, you just can't. Yeah, that's going to be a problem for you, Al. That's going to be a problem for you because the greatest warrior class was enslaved for 400 years. That's the problem right there. You keep saying you ain't worried. You live in day to day. That's a problem. It's these type of comments. Hold on. It's these type of comments that are scary. We ain't worried about that. Boy, you cannot stand in front of a military. And if you ain't afraid to die, be my guest. He's going to create a working class. Have you ever seen The Last King of Scotland? When Idi Amin removed all the Asians out of Africa, out of the Angola. Remember that part when he removed all? I said Angola, Uganda. He removed them, collapsed the economy overnight. People said, "Man, you can't do that. They make up half our economy. We gonna collapse it." I don't care. They milk the cow, but don't want to feed it. They like, yo. Brother Marco, I put the link in the chat. I do appreciate your participation in the chat, but I did put the link in there. Brother Marco says, and if we're not talking function in this current system, what is it worth being a warrior? Okay, that's what Brother Marco said. Okay. He said, unless you about to overturn the whole system. There you go. Comedic 9 ether beings. He says, we don't own enough anything to revolt or fight back against the system without help from all people. Excellent point. You don't own anything. We don't own anything. We aren't producing our own candidates anymore. And when some of the people that look like us are trying to come forward, the first thing we do, as you saw in the community, is they start arguing over stupid shit such as, is she black? What kind of dumb shit was that? But meanwhile, we've been voting for people that weren't black ever since we've been allowed the right to vote. I was confused. I'm confused. Help me understand. I'm confused. Can somebody help me understand that? Can somebody please help me understand what was going on in the community? A community that was supposed to be pro. Donnell Richardson said, keep talking, Chris. Don't end the screen yet. Well, unfortunately, I got to end it right now because I got to get ready to go to work. Now, y'all are seeing history be made right in your face. He ain't even in office yet. And he already telling you what he gonna do. But guess what? These same people that spoke pro, they're gonna try and flip it. And everybody gonna listen and everybody gonna be upset. I've always been against that orange head motherfucker. That orange looking motherfucker. He got blonde hair now. Motherfucker, you 79 years old, 80 years old. Your hair ain't goddamn blonde. Get your ass out of here. And I don't give a fuck what nobody say. Just because he took pictures with some people in the NAACP 25 years ago and posed with some black people, black celebrities, does not make him pro-black. Because if he was pro-black, he'll be initiating some pro-black policies, and he ain't. He told us, hey y'all been voting Democrat forever. What you got to lose? That's all he said. And niggas believe that shit. That's your problem right there, Alcatone. You root for the Redskins. They get in front of my mighty Lions, we gonna destroy their ass. We gonna put 50 on the board on them. Hey guys, man, I gotta sign out, man. I want y'all to think about what I said. Approach these people. Ask them, hey man, you was pushing that. Hey guys, I gotta sign up out of here, man. Y'all have a good morning. Think about it. Peace.